Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Inna. I do videos here on YouTube on 3 different channels and I also stream on Twitch. So you might think that I know a thing or two about technology, right? Because I literally work at my computer day and night and day. I do spend a lot of time in front of it. It's essential for my work because this is my full-time job. But surprisingly, I don't know that much about computers. But something happened recently. A few months ago, my computer started giving up a little bit. I realized that it kind of needs an upgrade. I am using a pre-built PC. It's nothing super fancy, but I was just like, speaking about this with my Twitch community, and they were like, you know what, maybe you should change the RAM. And I'm like, change the RAM? What do you mean change the RAM? Like, I can't do that. But they convinced me to try it and I did it. It's finally successful. Like, as I'm speaking to you guys, everything has been done, everything is good. But I was just wondering how many people out there are just like me, where like maybe they kind of want to change some things in their computer, but they just don't have the knowledge for it, or just like are kind of scared. Because what I can tell you about me is that I was scared to mess it up. I was like, oh my gosh, imagine I tried to do it, I do one little mistake and I burn down the PC and bye-bye PC, and I need to buy a new one like the next day, or I can't work. That was my biggest fear. But a few months went past and here we are. I just did it literally yesterday. As of yesterday, I officially have a new RAM that is working. So I kind of had this idea of making this video to talk about how I did it, how it went, and trying to maybe like find people that are in my same situation and kind of like try to give them the courage to try it out. So this video is all going to be about the first time that I touched my PC and I did do an upgrade with my own hands. So let's start off with the PC that I have. I have Acer Nitro 50. Again, it is pre-built because when I started streaming and I needed a PC, I had zero knowledge regarding PCs. Technically, I don't know that much yet either, but like most importantly, I didn't have anybody that could kind of like advise me regarding what PC to buy or like what parts to buy so that somebody could build it for me. So I just decided to go with this pre-built one, and I have had it now for 2 years. It has been working fine, but the main problem is that it can do better, especially when I'm doing stuff like streaming and playing complicated games at the same time. It started being a little too demanding for the PC itself. Like as of right now, for example, I just finished, or I'm about to finish, I'm doing the very last moments of Red Dead Redemption 2, and I have to play it at low settings because when I'm streaming and playing at the same time, my PC just can't do it, like it lags. So that was like one of the examples to make you understand what was the state of my PC and what I decided to do. So I decided to upgrade my RAM. I had a 16 gigabytes, which is not a lot, especially if you're streaming or like you're using your PC for editing and stuff. So somebody of the community offered to just like, take a look at the system, at all the different specs, stuff that I don't understand anything about. And from there, just kind of suggest me what I can do. So I do have the NVIDIA, I want to say 3060 graphic card. I'm going to put it here on stream, which, on the screen, which is not horrible, but it's definitely not the best. And as we probably know, that's going to be like a very good part to replace. Like if I replace the graphic card now, that's gonna be quite nice. However, like you have to see if it's compatible with a motherboard and all the different elements, and it's quite pricey. So instead, this person suggested me to upgrade my RAM to go from 16 to either 32 or 64, because like this wouldn't make a massive difference. But for example, when I'm editing videos, it would just like make the rendering faster, and just altogether the PC should be able to breathe a little bit more while I do all the other things. And the plan is to like potentially like within a year to change my PC completely, and hopefully just like buy separate parts and actually build one, or like have somebody build it for me instead of buying a pre-built one. So we decided to go for a RAM upgrade. They gave me the option of 32 or 64. And the thing is that a lot of people suggested me to go for the 32, but initially I decided to go for the 64 because there's quite a price difference. Like we're talking about like $100 difference, maybe a little less. But I was like, you know what, my PC is already struggling, it's doing all these things. If I can do a little bit more, maybe it's not gonna be a super noticeable difference, but hopefully it's gonna buy me more time before I get into buying a new PC. So that's what I decided to do. And the person that looked at my at the system and everything suggested me this specific brand, and I actually have it here. Note, I know nothing about specific technological terms. Like I can read you what's written here, but that's all I know. Like the person made me buy the DDR4, as you can see, because apparently the DDR5 is better, but it's not compatible with my computer. So I got this one, I have it here, but it's not the one in my PC now. So what does that make you understand? But something kind of went wrong. But first I want to walk you through the whole process of getting this one and actually installing it. So before actually installing it and opening my computer, I did watch a ton of tutorials that my community suggested to me. I can link some of these down below in the description if they can be useful for you. So as far as I understood, like I already knew where the RAM was going to be installed because I did send the pictures of my motherboard to the person, and they showed me exactly where the RAM goes. And I'm like, yay, easy peasy. They told me like, this is how you remove it. You put the RAM back inside, same side, you hear the click, and you're done. I was like, okay, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, I can do it. And I was actually quite confident after watching all these tutorials. So I do all of that, I remove my old RAM, and I'm like, okay, as I am removing the old RAM, I pay attention to where like the tag is, because I know that it has to go for the same side, and there's these, there's like this part here in the middle, which has to go, in a specific spot, and I'm happy we're doing it. So, I go in to put it in, I do it, and I struggle, as in like, it's not clicking on both sides. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I tried to put both of these RAMs. So yeah, these are like 32 and 32. I tried to put them in. They only click on one side. And like, I can tell that they're going like they're doing this wiggly movement. And I'm like, okay, that's not right. But let me try anyway. I was like, okay, let me try. Like I did put pressure to the best of my abilities, and at some point I heard a click. I heard the extra clicks that I was missing, so I was like, okay, that's perfect. What happens next is that like I put the electricity thingy back, the outlet, is that how you call it in English? And I turn on the PC. Light goes on and beep. I'm like, okay, that's not good. Let's wait a few seconds. Let's see if that stops. Beep. Just one long continuous beep. And I'm like, okay, that's not right. Let me retry. So I remove the outlet thingy, the cable. I retry. Same thing happens again. I'm like, okay, something's wrong. Something's obviously wrong. And in the meanwhile, I tried to text the person that helped me choose the RAM and everything. I'm like, what's going on? Of course, they don't see my message right away. So here I am with my PC open, with the sound that goes beep. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. That's not good. Something's wrong. So then I hear, so what's the next thing that you do? You go on Reddit. Like I try to explain my problem, what's happening. And I see that there are some existing friends that are kind of like about the same thing. I'm like, okay, good. I can do it. What they say is that apparently a common mistake that a lot of people do is that they don't put enough pressure. So like it looks like the RAM is installed, but it's not installed. So what you should do is put more pressure. Exactly what I do. Beep. So this thing continues for a little bit, and I'm starting to freak out because I'm like, what the hell? So the next thing that I do, panicking, is take the old RAM and put it back the way that it was to see if like that would change. And it turns on normally. So at that point I'm like, okay, something's wrong here, but at least the old RAM is still working and PC is running fine, so it's not like I burned the whole thing down. So panic, but not too much. Then I kind of like struggle and try to redo it and redo it and redo it. So I redo it again and something different happens. I turn it on, no beep, no light, but the fan is working. The fan is spinning. I'm like, okay, that's what the hell? And I try a few times and it does the same thing. And at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like actually gonna burn down the PC because I just keep like removing and putting the cable back. I'm like, I was worried that if I do that too many times, something like electricity wise will go crazy. That luckily didn't happen, but I don't know if that's actually a possibility, if I was close to making that happen. To this day, I still don't know. But okay, so back on Reddit. What is it? Bad RAM. And I'm like, what the hell does it mean, bad RAM? Like, what? Tell me more. So I don't know what it means. I'll look it up. And then I'm like, okay, wait, I have been trying the same thing for so many times and nothing is changing. Give me a second. So, sorry, sneeze. I was like, okay, give me a moment. This is not working. Let me try the other side. Like, I know that what I'm doing now is the right side because I looked at the old RAM, like how I removed it and the label and everything, but let me try. I turn it up, like I make it switch sides. Click, right away. No pressure, no nothing. It goes in so smoothly. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I turn the PC on, no beep. Everything works fine. So I was initially doing it the wrong way, the wrong side, and I didn't know because it was how the label was working. So yeah, that was mistake number one. But finally PC turns on, and at this point, because of my Twitch community and like the videos that I have watched, I knew that once you install it, you're supposed to kind of like double check if the system recognizes the new memory, the new RAM, and yes, it goes to 64. That's what's shown in my information system. Awesome possum. But then people told me that you're supposed to enable the XPR, however that's called. I'll put it here on screen, where basically like you have to go in the BIOS of your motherboard and activate that, because that's like kind of the speed. I'm trying to explain it as I would explain it to a child because that's all I know. So you have a memory, and the memory works like the storage, not the storage, but like the memory. You have your gigabytes, but you have to match the speed so that it actually works faster and it, it gives you the benefit. But people told me just try to like work a little bit with the RAM, play something. So that's exactly what I did. I tried rendering a video. I tried playing a little bit of League of Legends. Everything seems normal. I see that the rendering is a little slow, but I'm like, okay, that's normal because I still have to do the BIOS thingy. Awesome possum. And people told me, yeah, once you see that everything is stable, there are no crashes whatsoever, just go do the BIOS thingy. So that's exactly what I do. Did watch videos on how to do that. Like you have to press, like each PC is different, but in my case, I'm pretty sure that I had to press F1 or F2 when I was starting the PC, like repetitively, and then it opened up. It opens up, and I don't see the XPM, or however it's called. I don't see it. I just don't see it. It's not there. I look it up, nothing. In the meanwhile, luckily the person that helped me picking up the RAM replied. I'm like, I can't find it. I don't know. Am I very stupid, or I don't know. I just can't see it. So we're like, okay, send me pictures and everything. And they can't find it either. They can't find it either. Yep. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So what do? Reddit. And we make one big discovery. My motherboard does not support that. So now I have a lot of storage. I went from for a lot of gigabytes. I went from 16 to 64. So I have a lot of gigabytes, but very slow. Very slow. Yeah, the speed doesn't match. And yeah. Awesome. So that's how everything was going. So this person told me, okay, what you should do it, you should probably refound the RAM that you got and buy an exact copy of the 16 one that you already have. So you will have 32, no XPM required, and So that's what I did. But it took me 15 minutes to get to this point. So what happened now is that I do have my RAM installed and everything. Now it seems like it's working a little better. I can see that the editing is a little smoother, so it definitely helped. But it was quite disappointing. I was so excited because I just doing everything on my own after all the struggles. Like, I worked it through. I'm confident. I'm upgrading my PC. I was so happy to finally have 64 gigabytes. I post a story on Instagram because, yeah, I'm so freaking pumped up. I'm so proud of me. And yeah, I have to go to 32. So yeah, moral of the story, guys. The thing that I learned from this experience is make sure that everything that you get for your PC is compatible. Go to the basics, because like the person that helped me told me that they didn't even think that my motherboard wouldn't support this XPM thingy, because apparently it's such a basic function, but it is what it is. So lesson learned, check all the basics, check if everything is compatible, make the stupid questions, check the stupid things that you give for granted, and you should be fine. You should be fine, because if we knew, I would just bought the first one, the exact copy of mine, installed it inside, and everything would work smoothly. But yeah, so that's how my first time trying to upgrade my PC went. Overall, I'm still proud, honestly, because I was so scared to open my PC, to mess it up, to burn it down. That didn't happen. It's still working. It's actually working a little bit better now. So yeah, I'm pretty confident, and honestly, I'm at the point where I would like to learn a little bit more about computers. And I don't know, maybe like next year, when I eventually will get a new computer, I will understand a little bit better what we're talking about. And you guys, please let me know if anything similar has ever happened to you, if you are used to upgrading your own PC, or like building your own PC, or if you go with pre-built. I know that pre-built is not that common, but it is the only option, like in my case 2 years ago, when I didn't know better. I just didn't know better. And yeah, I really like this idea, the idea of just making this video and sharing it to the public, because yeah, maybe it's gonna be as an inspiration for somebody. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know your experience with upgrading the RAM or anything else in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you real soon. Bye! Mwah!